Metcalf. Today, I will be talking to you about the futures market and how you too can generate a six-figure income trading institutional moves before, actually during the New York trading session open, only 2 hours and done. And this is my trading plan basically. So I trade 2 hours a day and I'm done. I don't day trade all day. Before we begin, just a quick disclaimer, all information provided by us is for educational purpose only. It should not be construed as investment advice regarding the purchase or sale of securities, options, futures, forex, or any other financial instrument of any kind. Please do your homework before deciding to trade. So my name is Anka Metcalf, and I'm the CEO and founder of TradeOutLoud.com. I have been a professional independent trader focused on equities and futures for the last 18 years. For the last 8 years, I day trade futures every day for the first 2 hours in the New York trading session, and I swing trade stocks and ETFs. I have not always been a futures day trader. I started day trading stocks a very long time ago. I have switched to futures trading for simplicity, and I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why today I have switched to futures trading. Also, prior to becoming a professional independent trader, I come with 10 plus years in investment banking. And I was very fortunate enough to have a background in finance and also work in the domain. I'm also the designer of an institutional proprietary trading system that is based on price support resistance, but there's a catch. I am focused on 8 layers of price support resistance and not only supply and demand, which gives me an above average accuracy and a win ratio of over 80%. I specialize on 8 layers of price support resistance that are derived from multiple time frames, and there are also different types of support resistance that we have on the charts. Supply and demand, like I said, represents only 20 to 30% of the equation. I also focus, and I have developed throughout my trading career, throughout 25 years or so trading career, specific trigger times. I have not always been day trading. So like I said before, I'm coming from the institutional backgrounds, from the investment field. So I would, I would position trade, core trade, pretty much any kind of stock. However, when I decided to quit my job and dive into trading, I needed an income producing style of trading. I needed a method where I would get in, get out of the market and be able to cash my check at the end of the day or at the end of the week. And this is what I do to this very day. I actually cash my check at the end of the month. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do. Throughout my trading career, I have developed specific trigger times because I have noticed that throughout the trading session, there are moments of power bursts that are happening at specific times. So I correlated them. So I already knew about reversal times. So I correlated those with the reversal times, and I have developed my magic formula for day trading that works phenomenally well. I also have specific price zones. Now, this is the best kept institutional secret. This is not something that I have developed by any means, but these are 4 institutional price points where institutions leg in and leg out. So we have an insight into a pattern development, and if it should develop at one of these 4 precise trigger points, there is nothing, not even news, not any kind of earnings or release or anything that is going to influence this spot. These are heavy accumulation zones and heavy distribution zones. Chart synchronicity is very important because at times the futures indices, even though they are the overall market, we're trading the indices. We're trading basically everything, commodities and everything. We actually have a position in silver that is a longer term trade. But when we're referring to the indices, these are going to be our day trading, let's say bread and butter. So they're put always in a leaderboard, leader and lagger type of leaderboard. And we need to determine if there is one index that is having some difficulty reaching targets or it has a structural change. So this is very important for the trading session. I know some of the futures traders, like to focus only on one index and have the blinders on and say, hey, I'm just going to trade the mini S&P. Well, guess what? If you're going to have, for example, difficulty in the financial sector, And if you're going to get, let's say, sector rotation from financials to other stocks, or if you're getting at the same time, like I said, a rotation from energy stocks to something else. These are two very big components that are going to influence the activity of the mini S&P. And then you could have, let's say, a stronger Dow, for example, where you have the Boeing, you have UNH, let's say you have Disney and Walmart that are outperforming. So it's only evident that the Dow is going to start rallying and the S&P is going to be relatively weak to neutral. And then again, if you have activity, for example, in the first 2 to 3 weeks of earnings season, we have the tech that is reporting, and that is going to produce that full throttle for these NASDAQ stocks, and obviously for NASDAQ as an index. So I pay attention to all of these things, and this is one of the reasons why, we like to have a selection criteria based of what is moving that day. So we don't have blinders on. We don't just trade the mini S&P or Russell, or no, we have a really strict selection criteria. And I also specialize on high velocity moves when I'm going to share with you my portfolio. So what that means is that when I'm day trading, I'm not looking for a tick or 3 or 4 ticks, because what I would not get up in the morning if that was the case. So basically I'm looking for a high velocity move. I'm looking for example, if I'm trading the Dow, I'm looking for a continuation or for a pattern that supports at least 50 points in the move. So, and also the S&P at least 7 points to 10 points in the move, and NASDAQ, let's say 20 to 50 points in the move, etc. So this is the methodology that I also teach in my courses. If you guys want to get a hold of us and see what we offer, you can head on to TradeOutLoud.com, browse for our website. And you could also find us on social media, where the handle is TradeOutLoud. Today, I will be talking with you about which style of trading is best suited for your lifestyle. Also choosing what market to trade, advantages and disadvantages of the futures market in comparison to the stock market, and also a question everybody wants to, anyone and everyone wants an answer to, and that is, how much money can I make trading or swing trading futures? Well, I'm going to start with that. This presentation is for traders that want to achieve above average gains, power trading the futures market. I'm very serious about my trading, and every single day I treat it as a day at the office. So I get ready for my day. There's no breaks in between from 9 o'clock until 12 o'clock when I wrap up. There are no breaks, no phones, no interruptions, absolutely nothing. I'm in the zone and trading. So the world can be collapsing around me. I can't care less. I don't have my TV on. I don't care what's on Twitter. I don't care what's on social media. I don't care what's happening. It's just me and the charts. Why? Because this is my prime time to produce my income. And this is my only opportunity to pull money out of the market. So I'm extremely focused on what I do to make my account grow, and what I do to make actually my, my account a little bit more profitable with each day. So in 2020, we have made over $162,202 per contract. So that means that if you would have joined us in our trading room last year in January, and if you would have traded all our trades, and we only trade between 1 and 3 trades a day max. Oftentimes we only take one, most of the time, actually, probably 80% of the time, we just take 1 trade and done. You would have made with 1 contract, if you just followed us blindly in, out, so I give all the precise indications, you would have made $162,000 trading 6 charts, 2 hours a day, stress-free, no stress on your part. And literally there's very little stress on my part as well, because I have automated my trading. These are my January results for this year, for 2021. We have made per contract. So let me say it again. This is results are per contract, and this is $26,000 to over $26,000 trading 1 contract. All right, for February, we just wrapped up a phenomenal month again. We just made over close to $13,000 trading again with 1 contract. So the results are based on per contract. And this is March. We started March yesterday. We only had 3 trades, and we're already up $930. And you can see here that the results that we're going for. So yesterday we had a trade in the Dow For 67 points, we had a trade in NASDAQ for 110 points, and we had a trade this today, actually, in YM, this garbage market that we have right now. We managed to find an opportunity, and we made 75 points. These are the trades that we have executed today, and this is actually our entry. 31 is actually, oops, this is from yesterday. I'm sorry. I do have the chart here from today. So this is yesterday's trade. You can see the entry was here. We had a power trend day. You guys see some notations that we have on our charts, and these are proprietary to TradeOutLoud. These are, I would say, training wheels for traders. These are multi-time frame dimensional trigger points. So they have an accuracy of over 85 to 90%. So as you can see, we buy everything on a pullback that is above this bullish above dotted line, and we continue higher. And you could see here that it has achieved our targets. We have targets 550, 580, 600. Profit per contract $355 based on your account size. Definitely, and a lot of traders in our room, we position size for these trades, and you can trade anywhere from 5 to 10 contracts, or 2 contracts, or 50 contracts, depending on your account size, because you have to position size. So for a 10 contract win, that would be over $3,550, and this is in one trade. For smaller accounts, $355. This is a huge win. Think about how much money you are going to have at the end of the month. Just do this consistently. Have an average of $300 per trade, and you're going to see where you are going to go. We also had a trade, and this illustration is for micros. There's this misconception that, hey, in micros, you cannot have a lot of room. You're not going to make a lot of money because the point is only $2. So you needed to rally a lot. Well, guess what? Sometimes you get home runs, and sometimes when you position size accordingly, this is how much money you can make. So with a micro contract, take a look at this move right here, from the entry all the way into the targets, into the 250, because we had the target into the 250 that hit yesterday. 1 point is $2, 80 points, $160. Think about this. If you have a small $5,000 account, and I know individuals that trade with $2,000 account, with $3,000 account, a $160 per contract micro for a small account, that is a growth of 3%. Do you guys know how much hedge funds are averaging on a year? Well, that's about 5 to 7%. So you're making, and we're making 3% per year. That's why we do have hedge funds in our program. So they are in our trading room. All right, so today we had a trade in YM, and you can see here that the price was crossed above here into the bullish above spot. We did not trade this, as we saw a lot of divergence in the market. As the Dow was running higher, we had NASDAQ that was pushing lower, same with Russell. So we just skipped the trade altogether, because that would pull the brakes on the trade. And we did really well with that. We waited for the price to calibrate. We had a double bottom formation, and here's our entry into the 31,475. We took profits into the 550, and we're done. So per profit per contract, and again, this is per one contract, like literally one contract, that's $375 today alone. So what do you need to do in order to have these phenomenal results? Well, first of all, you need to have the proper education, because without proper education, you don't have confidence to execute the trades. You're going to go in, you're going to freak out, you're going to take yourself out of the trade without having any kind of reason. There are a lot of traders that are coming with bad trading habits. For example, and traders that do not have the patience, that lack the most basic skill, and that is to have patience on a trade. Guys, if you have your entry, if you have your stop, you have a plan, and then you have your target, right? So you have a plan. Let the trade develop. As long as it's not hitting your stop or your target, you do nothing in the meantime. And then you have to have the discipline to enforce that. And you have to be super focused. Like I said, when I'm trading, I don't have any kind of distractions. I'm not even paying attention into the trading room, because I'm focused on making money for myself, and ultimately for all the traders that are in with me in the trading room. So we're 100%, our 100% undivided attention is to finding and identifying potential trades, high velocity trades. This is our objective. And we only work 2 hours a day. So the other thing that you need to do is know how to follow directions, because like I said before, there are a lot of traders that say, hey, you know what? Oh, it didn't really, it triggered, but I took it like, I didn't respect the trigger price. So instead of entering at 475, I entered at like 550 because I thought I could cheat it a little bit, the entry. I mean, that's really bad. That's really bad because the trigger price is there for a reason. You need to have the trigger price in order to create those, in order to have follow through to your trades. So the reason why I trade from home is because I make my money working from home. I used to work really long hours. I used to work for an investment firm. We also had a hedge fund into the firm. And I worked really long hours just to make money for someone else. So I decided, just to trade for myself. It was not easy, but I gave up my job. And by the way, my commute time was about 3 hours a day. I was traveling about an hour and a half to go to work and an hour and a half to get back. It was heavy traffic, and you can imagine it was a nightmare. So I decided to quit and start my own trading business. And it was the best decision that I've ever made. But it was a tough one because, like I said, I came from the institutional background and I came from the investment background, and I was swing trading in my account. I literally knew almost nothing about day trading. So I had to rediscover myself into this field. And it wasn't easy. So it was for 6 months until I found my balance into day trading, because I applied everything and I took so many courses. It was ridiculous. And when I got started into day trading, we didn't have webinars. There were literally no webinars. All the webinars, and I remember I was part of a trading room then. It is not around now. But I was part of a trading room then, and I was paying around $600 just to be in that trading room. So it was a lot of money. And it wasn't anything like, like the trading rooms that are around today. So I work from home and generate an income. Depending on your account size, you can generate anywhere between $500 to $5,000 on a small to medium account size. Small to medium account size, meaning from $5,000 to about $30,000. Over $30,000, you can add more to these amounts. So I traded with the institutional money flow. I don't follow institutions because we know exactly where they're likely to start triggering. And if you have been in our trading room, or if you have been educated by us, or if you decide to join, you're going to see what we're talking about. Once we initiate the trade, we're getting the momentum. So that means that we're getting at the same time with the institutions. We have also, we're focusing on high velocity moves for high rewards. Like I said, I wouldn't get out of bed for 5 points in S&P or for 10 points in YM or for 3 points in ES. Are you kidding me? And and that would also be a recipe for disaster, because if you have these very small gains per trade, for example, if you decide to take, for example, even the S&P for a point, well, you're risking probably a point or 2 points to get that, and you're averaging 1 R. So basically, you're risking 1 R. Your gain is 1 R. So if you have like 5 losses on your next trade, you have to have at least 5 more trades, 5 to 7 more trades in order to recuperate the losses from the first trades. So think about it. Okay, just let that be food for your thought. Food for thought. Also, I trade every day from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And like I said, 2 hours and done. And I am done with day trading. I focused on 4 charts primarily. I focused on the futures indices, and I deploy precise strategies at specific times and locations. And I apply simplified management, very simplified management. And also, you can get a limited income potential, but depending on how much you want to trade. Do you want to trade the afternoon trading session? You could go right ahead. It's not something that I do because I just came from trading all day, day trading stocks and swing trading, to simplifying my life and only trading 2 hours a day. But it depends on your objectives and your goals. And as you can see here on the chart, we pretty much have everything simplified. So you can see here that we have the bullish above spots. You can see how it's running into targets, coming back down. This is textbook, guys. This is textbook. These are institutional levels. You know how to trade with them. They're super simple. You could actually make a fortune trading in the market. There's one more thing. There's no average in trading. You're either great or you're a loser. I'm sorry to say this, but you have to work hard to get to start making money into the market. And fear is going to hold you back from doing that. And you're getting the fear exactly from the lack of knowledge and the confidence. And that is coming from trading education. So what do I trade? I day trade the futures indices. These are my go-to every day, every night. I look at them. If you wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, what was the closing price in the mini S&P? Boom, I'm going to come out with that number because I know exactly what patterns there are. You cannot forget them. Once you trade them every day, you're pretty much going to be sort of like a market maker for these indices. I also swing trade, and I like to swing trade oil, gas, bonds, like to wheat, for example, soybeans, or even currencies. So these are, for me, more swing trading material than day trading material. Silver, gold, etc. This is not a market, in my personal opinion, for day trading silver or day trading gold. It's way too volatile, way too whippy. So it doesn't have a really good response for day trading, just like oil was. So oil, again, was a very fleecy, very flaky kind of commodity. It started trading like that since August, since it had since it went negative. Remember, it went negative in spring, and then it started to move up, and then it was sideways for the longest time. And finally it broke out. We caught the breakout, and we have really massive profits into February from oil. So that was only one trade in oil. So it's actually literally just trading less and making more, but focusing on clarity, precision trades, and etc. So you can imagine, so we trade like hedge funds do, because I basically, was working with them. So you want to have that precise approach to trading. Trading is not about winging it, saying, hey, I'm going to try it here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, it's a simple, precise method. And also in my selection criteria, I look at daily performance. So today, for example, we have copper. Copper, again, is screaming higher, is doing a daily rotation. Also natural gases rotating. So these may be prime points for turnarounds for some swing trades. And you can see you get a lot of ideas by running through the daily performance. And you can see here with lagging VIX. So obviously VIX lower, the market should be higher, etc. This is what I trade, and basically these are my 6 charts. I call them my employees, so it's really hard to miss a trade when you don't have to do any kind of scanning. So you get the picture. So I was coming from scanning 6,000 stocks every single day. I was running through earnings reports, and I was running through gaps and everything just to find a trade that I was interested in. And now I only trade 6 charts. Boom. So there's the simplicity right here. I trade the Dow, the mini S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell. And you can see that we have levels right here that help us with trading. And they're going to be very, so this is very interesting. For example, here, this is bullish above, this is bearish below, and this is the same. This is bullish above, this is going to be bearish below. So it's a very simple concept. All right, so the mini S&P here, I'm just going to give you an example, was range bound for such a long time. This is a chop zone. So any trades that will be developed from this point between this support spot and this resistance spot, they're going to be very, very choppy. If we have time at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you some insight of what we can expect from the market, from the markets moving ahead. But all your information is on the left-hand side of the chart. Always look at where the price is trading in relation to the prior highs, prior lows, price support resistance, and also some key influence areas. And you can determine whether the price is in a chop zone or is escaping the chop zone, because if it's trading still into the chop zone, into the middle, you have a 50-50 shot on your trades. And 50-50 is not good enough, because you have 50% chances of risking your capital and losing the allocated capital for the trade. So you want to make sure that you choose your levels wisely. So trading is a rule-based system. It is finding high odds trades, waiting for the setups, fine and precise execution. You know exactly where your entry is, exactly where your stop is, exactly where your target is. And you also want to know what? You have to know exactly what your plan of action is as your trade is hitting targets. And then this is the art of trading. And of course, you have to have the money management skill, not only how you trail it, but also how to position size it. And of course, patience, because you need patience for the patterns to develop. Now, remember that patterns may not develop every 2 minutes into the futures market, because there are only 4 markets. And for a setup to develop, sometimes you need about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Sometimes you need to wait for about 2 to 3 hours for a setup. So bottom line is that you have to have the patience to wait for the setup to form. Now, why futures? Like I said, I have always been a stock trader. And 8 years ago, I had a discussion with my accountant, and my accountant said, you know what, you're paying too many taxes. Have you looked into futures market? And I'm like, you know what, I have, and I have been, because I've always been trading commodities into my futures account, like gold and oil, I wasn't really focused on futures indices back then. Or hedging opportunities. So I would hedge against the market with that, but I would never see it as a day trading opportunity for me, because I had 6,000 stocks to select from. I was very comfortable with trading stocks. But then I started to think about it, what she said, not only about the tax purposes, but as time progressed, I decided that, hey, I don't want to spend all day in front of the computer anymore. So basically, I tried to develop a system for myself that I would trade less and make actually more money. So what I've tried is, for about a week or so, and this happened like 8 years ago, I've tried to only trade the Qs and the SPYs. So to simplify everything. And then I'm like, okay, I got to give those futures a chance. So I started to trade NASDAQ, and I started to trade the S&P and the Dow. I actually started with the Dow, to be very honest. And I have, started to, dabble with those. And those trades work really well. So in about, I would say, maybe less than a month, I was sold on the futures market. I ditched day trading stocks altogether, moved to full throttle futures trading, never looked back a minute. You have reliable volume data into the futures market if you're trading the New York trading session. Also, you get really good reliable volume if you're trading the London session. I don't really recommend you start day trading the Asian session. Asian session is a little thinner. It's the only session that doesn't have algorithmic trading built into it, because it's very thin. And basically, you're trading major markets. You're trading NASDAQ, you're trading the S&P, you're trading oil, you're trading gold, etc. It's an income producing, or also it's a wealth method. You could also have position trades. You could also take swing trades. And it's an income producing style of trading, the way I do it, because you are day trading it. And you have different tick values and price ranges. And of course, starting with 2 years ago, 2 years ago, hard to believe, 2 years ago, the CME has introduced the micros for indices, and they're working on a micro for oil. We already have micros for gold and from many other markets. So depending on your account size, you don't have an excuse not to trade. Also, you don't have to use a scanner. I use a scanner because I still swing trade stocks, and I still have my long-term money working really hard for me. So I don't have to. And I do use a scanner, but that's an implied cost for the scanner. So I pay about $375, the $275, I'm sorry, per month just to use the scanner. You don't need to use the scanner in the futures market. Guess why? Because you're only trading for a chart. So it's really hard to miss the trade when you're only focused only 2 hours a day. I mean, that's your job, 2 hours a day, and you're just babysitting charts and you're waiting for a pattern to form. That's it. And of course, there are multiple tax advantages. Talk to your accountant about tax advantages. Also, you can Google, you have the 60/40 rule here in the US. You have special IRS advantages if you're a full-time trader, so huge advantages. There's no pump and dump, it's safe from rumors, no manipulation. You saw what happened with GME. By the way, GME, that's a topic that I will discuss tomorrow in my presentation. I will share with you a trade that I did in GME. It's my best trade of my career, literally. no downgrades, no upgrades. It's a 24-hour market. It's a hands-on risk. So that's awesome, because if you decide to take a trade and if you decide to hold it as a swing trade, and if the market conditions change in the overnight trading session, you can go in, change your stop, move your stop, take your, add to your trade, or, if it hits targets, take the profits off. So it's phenomenal. So the reason why I like trading the futures market is because it's, like I said, it's a 24-hour market, and it is literally far more, I would say far better than day trading stocks. And one of the reasons a lot of traders are gravitating now into the futures market. And by the way, when I was doing these futures webinars, I'm not aware of one presenter that was doing a futures webinar, not one. So when I started teaching the futures market, I don't know, I was 6-7 years ago, there was nobody around that was doing futures, like literally nobody. I don't know anybody that was doing a futures presentation. And I started, and you could probably see it on my website. If you go to on our YouTube channel under Trade Out Loud, so it's YouTube Trade Out Loud, our YouTube channel, you're going to see our very old presentations. And you would, if you look at other presenters that are doing futures presentations, you could see their source of inspiration. Yes, it was Trade Out Loud. So one of the reasons many traders gravitate towards futures trading is the relatively low startup cost. So for example, it usually requires about $30,000 to open a stock day trading account. And you must maintain at least $25,000 to keep your day trading status, because if you lose a penny, guess what? Your day trading status is out the door. The futures market allows you to open an account for as little as $5,000. And best of all, you do not have to maintain that amount, because as long as you have sufficient cash in your account to cover your margin requirements to trade the commodity or the index, you could actually have a balance of $700 to $800. And guess what? You can still trade futures. So there are huge advantages. Now, I want to share with you time versus money and versus buying power. So this is an example that I did yesterday. I'm going to show you the example because it's so recent. So let's say a trader wants to buy the Qs, and you guys know that if the Qs move a cent, right, that's $1. And you would have to have at least $14,000 buying power to buy 100 shares. Now, let's say you want to buy NASDAQ. Well, NASDAQ, you need to have, let's say, $17,000 in buying power. And if it moves 1 point, that is $20. Do you guys want to see the example I did yesterday? Okay, here it is. Here's the Qs. We bought it 100 shares. Look at the buying power, 16,000, let's say 17,000, rounding it up. And you can see with 100, so basically with this buying power, we only took 100 shares because that's what we could, right? And we made $237. Do you want to see NASDAQ right now? The power of NASDAQ? Okay, here's NASDAQ futures, one contract. Here's the entry. You could see here $2,000, okay, with $17,000 buying power. So if you want to maximize your buying power and make more with what you have, to me, it's a no-brainer, but you have to know exactly what you're doing, okay? And this is an example in micros. There are a lot of traders that are saying, oh, I don't know, I can't really make a living in micros. And they have these unrealistic expectations. They open an account for $3,000 or $5,000 and have the expectation to make $10,000 or $15,000 a month. If that is the case, please, okay, just throw out the door, because it doesn't apply to trading. Trading is about, maximizing your buying power, but it's about realistic expectations. So what we're talking about here, this is the same trade like the Qs. Take a look as the Qs. They were taken at the same time. You could see it right here. The snapshot is yesterday at 3:55. This snapshot here is at 4:10, and the snapshot here is at 4:05. So they were all three trades were closed into 4 o'clock. So what I wanted to show you here is that the buying power for the micros is $1,760, and your realized gain right here is $181 with one contract. That's realistic expectations. Well, think about it. Like I said, on into, let's say, a $5,000 account, you have that as an average per day. Think about the results. That's almost 3% per day. All right. So why I trade futures? Well, first of all, tax advantages and the advantage of simplicity, and plus it's a sweet spot. I only trade 2 hours and done. The reason why I trade the first 2 hours, literally almost 3 hours. I open the trading room at 9 o'clock and I shut it down at 12 o'clock or around 12 o'clock. Sometimes we're done early at 10 o'clock or 10:30 and we're done. We'll shut it down. Like, why stick around? So we have the overlap of the London session with the New York trading session. So this is phenomenal because it gives us more volume and it gives us a boost in price. So time flexibility is about, having control over your position 24 hours a day. In the stock market is open 5 days a week from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. The futures market is open 24 hours, 6 days a week. So geopolitical events do not wait for the market to open. Events just happen. You saw what happened. They were talking about stimulus again on Friday. They passed. When was it? I think on Saturday and on Sunday the market gapped up, and now it's like the market is rethinking it again. The market is not out of trouble right here. So just so you know, the market is still, so it's relatively bullish, but it's still having a very hard time because it's not over that big roadblock. So it needs a little bit of more boost to get a little bit higher. If we have time, after this presentation, I can I can show you some levels that I'm looking at where we're going to become ultra bullish or we're going to start looking bearish for the market. So is it easy to succeed in trading? Well, I could tell you, if you have the right mentorship, to have the right education, yes, you can. And you will advance relatively painless through your learning process. However, if you do not have the proper trading education, and I mean really robust trading education, because in trading, it's not about, oh, I'm going to pick up on a strategy, I'm going to apply that strategy, or I'm going to learn management after I learn about a strategy. No, you have to learn everything at once, and you have to implement, you have to put the puzzle together every single time you take a trade. That's the key. You need to have the strategy, you need to have the management, you need to have the mindset, you need to have the experience, the attention to detail, everything. It's all a system. It's not about learning entries. It's not about learning, oh, I need to know where I put my stop, or I need to know how to trail, or no, you need to learn everything. And then you need to apply that everything into every single pattern. So it's not, like I said, it's not easy, but it's simple. So once you learn how to trade, you will enjoy trading. I enjoy trading every morning. I feel the joy because I'm getting up and I'm coming and doing something that I love every single day, and that is trading. And once you learn to do that, and once you learn how to trade, you will enjoy life. You will enjoy trading. Because if you're getting into trading for the wrong reason, saying, I just want my money from trading, that's it, because I just hate it, you're never going to have trading work for you. Because trading is about learning how to trade. And basically, it's like, it's literally like your little baby. You have to take care of it, you have to watch it, supervise it, feed it, etc. This is how the market is as well. So learn before you dive in. It's very important. You're going to swim with the sharks every day, every moment, every second. So learn how to trade with the big sharks. Why should you care what the institutions do? Because the institutions are the big sharks? Well, because they see your orders on their lunch or breakfast or even evening menu, if you're trading at night. So they do. Don't forget that our brokers sell our data to hedge funds, to other algos and HFT companies. And they know exactly where we have our orders. We know exactly, they know exactly where we enter. That's why when I'm in a trade, I like to use emergency stops. So I like to keep the stops. You have to keep the stops really far away, because they know the setup that we're going for. They know what retail traders are thinking, because guess what? A lot of the institutions are trading pretty much similar patterns. but they don't teach their traders how to put and where to put their stops so they don't get stopped out as often. You can go through our portfolio. We're going to go through our portfolio a little bit later if we have time, and you're going to see that we really don't stop out of trades a lot. We have very, 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 very few stops. So experienced traders have no fear, and I have no fear when I'm trading. I'm trading relaxed. I love what I'm doing. If I see a setup, I take the trade. If I don't see a setup, I don't take the trade. So for example, today, I waited and waited and waited for the trade to develop rather late in the day. So it was 11 o'clock or closing in on 11:30 when I initiated the trade. And I said, I don't really have a lot of confidence in the trade today because the environment is very, very choppy. And I expect a lot of chop. We placed our stops. Like I said, we had an emergency stop. We took half of the position. So what that means, you position size. So instead of risking, let's say if your position size is, I don't know, $1,000, you risk $500. And then you position size accordingly, half the size for that. You take the trade, you place your emergency stop, you know where your targets are. Actually, into the end of the session at 12 o'clock, I said, this is a wrap, we're done. We do have a private feed where I update any ongoing trades are going to be updated there. That was it. I placed my alerts where my targets are, actually placed a profit target into target one. And I had a hard stop in. I had my alerts all set up, so I know when to come back to the computer when my alerts go off. And I went and had lunch. So you don't have to babysit. So trades usually that develop later in the day, they tend to last a little bit longer. Trades that develop in the first hour of the day, they're super fast. I love those super fast trades because we are trading institutional levels. And of course, we trade with institutions because we're not amateurs. And I would say that we go beyond retail trading. I'm beyond retail trading. So experienced traders, like I said, have no fear. They know how to surf the waves and stay with the waves and ride it until it's safe to exit the trade. So whenever you feel the urge, you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to buy it here. It's like nobody's watching. It's like you're cheating a little bit. It's like, I'm going to buy a little bit here. I'm going to put the stop. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Think about next time when you want to pull the push the buy button or the sell button, think, would a hedge fund do that? Would an institutional trader do that? Would a portfolio manager do that? Would a prop trading company do that? Would a market maker do that? Would a hedge fund do that? Would an algo do that? And if you would say, hey, you know what? Yeah, they would do that. So then you can take the trade, right? But you have to know what their levels are. And this is where we have our method because we know where their levels are. And that's why we have a win ratio of over 80%, over 80%. So we win 80% of the time. So next time when you jump in a trade, think about this. 10% of the traders make money from the rest of the 90% of the traders. So guys, if trading was easy as buying a really shiny, beautiful indicator, because even today I had a question in the trading room saying, what is the best indicator for, to read the trend? Price action. So price action is your best indicator. It's the only indicator, pure price action. Price action is going to tell you everything you want. And price action, ask price action any question where it is and based upon where it's trading, high, low, support, resistance, prior pivot high, prior pivot low, where it is into the structure of the chart. Is it up or down? Where is it in relation to the rest of the indices? Where is it in relation to the market in general? So price is going to answer all that questions. You don't need glittery indicators. It's going to take you probably 2 to 3 months to learn an indicator, and then you're going to see it's not going to work for you. I have not seen a working indicator in my 20 plus years trading experience. The only people that are making money off indicators, and I don't blame them because it's awesome to make money off indicator, and they're they're not totally bad, but they have a win ratio of 25 to 30%. We have a win ratio of 80%. So if trading was as easy as buying an indicator or reading 10 books, 10 books or 20 books or 50 books, or all you do is read about trading, literature about trading, you study charts, it's not going to cut it. You know why? Because you need that special book that it's not out there, and we're working on it. And I'm working on writing a book of how to put the puzzle together, because there is no such book. They teach you strategies, they teach you stops, they teach you entries, they teach you position sizing, they teach you this and that, they teach you everything, but they don't put everything together. And I could tell you why, because a lot of the individuals that are teaching do not trade. They have a profession out of teaching. With us is different. We do trading, and then we teach in our spare time. So why futures? First of all, it's an income from home. You can supplement your income. You can actually have a limited income potential. I mean, what job does that for you? It's recession, depression proof. Last year was one of my best years on record. Literally was one of my best years on record. And I have record months for starting with March, when a lot of individuals lost their money. They pulled money out of the market. We thrived. And you have control over your time. I like to go to the beach. So I live literally like 7 minutes walking to the beach. And when I'm done trading, that's my chill time. That's my relaxing time. I like to grab some quick lunch and head to the beach for a walk, a little bit of, de-stressing out, and then coming back home and watching my swing trades and scanning for some more trading opportunities for the next day. So can anyone make money in the market? Listen, if you lose money in the market, you can make money in the market. Don't tell me you cannot make money in the market. There's always someone on the other side of the trade. So if you think that, oh my God, I've been trading for so long and I'm losing. No, all you have to do is just some minor tweaks, add a little bit more knowledge and see why you're stopping out. And then if you lose money, you are going to make money, but you need the proper education and the proper mentoring. So all these results are from only 2 hours a day of working. That's 10 hours a week. I mean, everybody would kill for this, right? Everybody would kill. 2020, over 80%. You can see it right here, January 83. Look at the scores right here. February 86, March 82, March 92% win ratio. When we have like the biggest market drop, we have the biggest score, 92%. So as you can see here, we're getting better. The more difficult the market is, the better we are, because we know exactly where these institutions are and where they love to clear the stops, because that's what it is. They love to clear the stops. So when traders are frightened and they say, oh, I'm going to take my money and run. Oh my God, it's so painful right now. We're like, come to daddy, come to mama. Okay, because we know exactly. So we're buying from them. We're buying their fear. And they go like, oh, thank God we're out. And the next thing you know, boom, the move is back up. Okay, because we buy it, we push the price higher. In trading, you should only have 4 outcomes. Big wins. These are home runs that we had yesterday, 110 points in NASDAQ. 110 points in NASDAQ. Those are high velocity moves. Small wins, break-even trades, and small losses. It's all about the small losses. It's all about the small losses. Keep your losses in check. And you can only do that if you have a good risk management plan in place. You do not have a risk management plan in place, you could have the best methodology, you could have the best entries, the best of everything. You could be the best trader in the world. But if you lack that, you're never going to make money, and you are going to bleed money. So we trade with a structured approach. We trade and teach live every single day, a highly successful system. We don't trade, let's say, a strategy. We trade a complete system that follows institutional. We don't follow, but we are trading with the institutional money flow in the first 2 hours that enables us to profit on momentum moves at these bursts of energy, whether to the upside or to the downside. And hear me out, at specific times, at specific locations, and precise technical patterns. Who else trades like this? Do you guys know who else trades like this? Who else trades like this? Algos. That's right. So we have developed and perfected this algorithmic system, if you will, and our method overrides anything. News events, artificial indicators, earnings, dark pools, because we know exactly where they anticipate these momentum bursts to happen. We have a lot of feedback from our clients, from the trading room, from our students, and you can read some of these here. Anka is one of the best mentors, traders in the business. I've been trading futures in the room for over a year now, and the results are outstanding. We're closing in on 300 members in the trading room, literally on 300 members. And we have hedge funds that are into our program. We have hedge funds that took our education, I know, and they are in our trading room. So you can imagine that we love having them there, because guess what? They help us, right? So it's one thing when we get, like, even if we get, like, for example, we take one contract each, hypothetically, we do more than that. But let's say we trade one contract, that's over 300 contracts. And when they get in, for instance, with 5,000 contracts at one point, right? So we're getting that burst of energy as well into our trading. So the class is very impressive and comprehensive. Have attended the 10-day Power Income course and the trading incubator. I'm blown away by what I have learned in such a short amount of time. Even today, I received an email from one of our members that needed to cancel for some serious reasons. But anyways, he mentioned in the email, he said that he has learned more in 1 month than in 10 years, and he cannot wait until he gets back into trading. Okay. Best 2 weeks of trading education with you. My win ratio is over 80%. I do not fear the markets anymore. So I'm just going to read some of the titles here. Above and beyond expectations, top-notch education, and artist at futures trading. If you're serious about trading, then you need someone with experience and discipline to guide you and to mentor you. I have joined the trading room for 6 months, learned so much on how to trade futures. Okay, blah, 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 top-notch education, worth the investment 100%. We have an individual that has emailed us yesterday. He just graduated. We just wrapped up the 5-day course on Friday. And this guy, and I posted on social media, it's on our Twitter page and Facebook. Raul is his name. And he traded about 7 to 8 years before he came to us without any kind of success. He was like bleeding money left and right. So he said that he made over $9,000 with us yesterday, which paid for the course and plus gave him a boost for the month ahead. So learning how to trade is not inexpensive, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be donating money to the market. You're going to be the liquidity provider. But compared to the trading losses and mistakes that some traders make, it's really worth the investment. So we're teaching a course. We're opening the doors today to the Power Income Futures Trading course. It's an institutional grade trading system. It is the most powerful, robust, comprehensive professional trading program developed for the retail trader. And that is because when I was trading institutionally, I had a manual and I had the mentorship, to trade their money. So I had like a big binder with rules, regulations, patterns, etc. So it was like a 1,000-page binder. It was very thick. So I had a trading manual, if you will. So I have implemented that manual for the retail trader, because there are some institutional methodologies that you cannot adapt as a retail trader. And I adapted it for my own accounts, because back, 17 years ago or 18 years ago, I wasn't teaching. TradeOutLoud has been around for 11 years now, but TradeOutLoud came about, hence the name, came about in 2008 when the big financial crash happened, and I was literally helping all the acquaintances, family members, friends, etc. I was doing lunch and learns. I remember going to the dentist and having my teeth cleaned. And I was talking to the dentist, so what do you do, et cetera. It's like, well, I'm a trader. I work from home, so I'm not impacted. And back then I was living in Detroit, Michigan. So that, you guys know what happened with GM. You guys know what happened with the auto industry. It was literally very sad. One in every three houses where I live was going into foreclosure. It was a really sad scene. So I decided to help everyone. And I did that for 2 years for free. So I was literally most and half of my free time, I was spending it, teaching traders, helping them not to get out of the market and literally telling them to stay in. And that's because of the pattern in which the price action was trading. And then when 2009 came, I said, let's buy with both hands. And that is when my portfolio went through the roof, because I remember in 2016, that was my last ad in NVIDIA at $36. I hold it to this very day. You guys know NVIDIA right now is trading at 544. I hold a position from $36 in NVIDIA. That's my average price in NVIDIA, $36, and I still hold it to the very day. So you can see why I love stock trading so much, because I absolutely love what I'm trading. I love what I'm doing. I remember I was buying a stock which was trading in the 5 cents to 20 cents range, and that was Sirius Satellite. I bought it with both hands. At the time, there was no competition, right? There was no competition. There was literally no other option. It was Sirius Satellite or none. So at one point or another, they would never let that stock, die. They would have bailed it out or something. Okay. So there are a lot of opportunities into the market. So if you're a beginner trader, we teach you everything from A to Z. If you have never traded in your life, we take care of you. You actually don't come with really bad trading habits. And if you're an advanced trader, this will be your launch pad for your next phase as a pro trader. And literally, we have developed the system which teaches you how to trade institutional level stress-free. This is the stop, this is the entry. And besides, trading is boring, guys. If you feel excited when you're trading, you're doing it wrong, because trading should be very boring. So we teach institutional levels, stress-free levels, precise buy sell zones, management and risk management, high up patterns and setups, how and where to place the stops, trading psychology, and most of all, important, how to put the pieces together, how to put the puzzle together. So this program is for you if you're losing money right now, if you don't have a system, if you do not have a process that eliminates emotions or lack confidence. This course will change your life. It changed the lives of so many traders, and we have taught thousands and thousands of traders. We are opening the door. The next course is March 22nd through March 26th. We have an early bird available that will go away on March 6th. So pretty much at the end of this week, you will receive 3 months live trading, 3 months live trading with me in the trading room, plus 1 day trading lab recording. So 3 months trading with me, plus 1 day trading lab recording. 3 months is about $1,000. We have the trading lab, which is $1,000. You get $2,000 savings. Tuition is $4,995. We have not raised the price since we started in 2015 with this course, and the price will go up very soon. So if you want to, keep the price $4,995, email us at info@TradeOutLoud.com or visit our website, and you can find out more information about the course. This is the course right here. It's the Power Income Futures Day Trading course. It's a 5-day live. It's always live. You're always going to get live unlimited retakes. We highly recommend that you take the retakes at least a year every month for repetition, to have it drilled into the brain, the setups and the strategies and everything, because it's not like, oh, I'm reading a book right now, I'm going through the pages, I'm highlighting, I'm closing the book, putting it on the bookshelf, and poof, I know how to trade right now. No, you have to come for the retakes every single month. I mean, if you don't want, my most successful traders come for at least a year and a half in the retakes, and they're successful. And just like Raul, he made close to $10,000 yesterday. You can access our live courses from anywhere on any device. You also get a risk chart, on-demand recordings for all courses. So in between the retakes, you can revisit everything that we taught. You have access to student-only specialty courses. And by the way, the trading room is way more than a trading room. I share way too much information there. It's also a mentorship room. So these are all the details that you can find on our website. Go to TradeOutLoud.com. It's under the education, and go to Futures Day Trading Education here. This is the course. This is the course curriculum with the drop down, everything that you will learn into the course. It's super comprehensive. Plus, we do have, for those of you that are very, very, very new to trading, we do have a 5-day hands-on lab. This price includes the lab as well. So if you guys are interested, feel free to visit our website or email me for some other type of information. Thank you so much, David. Mike, back to you. And I know I haven't answered a lot of questions in here, so I'm going to try to answer your questions right after I hang up now. Thanks so much, guys.